So just last week, we posted a video on this channel of a new short film that myself and my friend Matt shot. And I think it turned out pretty good. And there was a lot of hard work and planning and preparation to make that whole thing happen. And by the way, if you haven't actually seen it yet, make sure to click this little card right here and check it out. But today I just wanted to give you a little breakdown of how this whole thing came together, from the pre-production to BTS of the actual shoot, and then also give you a little sneak peek into the post-production of how we color graded it. Okay, so we use the service Milanote, which you may or may not have heard of, but essentially it is just a very good way to visually represent the idea that you have. The best part about this, not sponsored by Milanote, by the way, but you can organize this however the heck you want. I've decided to go into these 4 columns of ideas, filming, editing, and then published. Here is the coffee film, and this probably looks like a mess to anybody looking at it, because it is, but this worked for us. So really we just started pulling in all these different images for reference, for inspiration, kind of coming up with a mix of a mood board slash storyboard slash shot list. And again, you can do this however the heck you want. There is no right or wrong way. What's really cool about this, about Milanote, is that you can actually drag in music. So you can link songs directly from wherever you got the music, or you can actually upload the MP3 files. And then up here, I actually have our shot list, which is more of a script. And this was very much written out scene by scene, for what the film was going to hopefully look like, and then all of the different shots we needed to accomplish it. So this is Milanote. Spent about probably 10 hours on this thing, storyboarding and getting everything the way we needed to get it, so that way we could feel confident going into the shoot. Okay, now I want to actually spend some time and break down the BTS of 2 specific scenes that we shot here. And the first one is this smoking truck effect that we had to create. Essentially what we wanted to do was emulate the fact that Jacob, our talent, that his truck was smoking or catching on fire or overheating or whatever a smoking vehicle means. We needed to create that. So we rented a haze machine and had this idea that we would blow haze from underneath the vehicle up into the hood, so that way when Jacob would open up the hood, smoke would just come pouring out of it. This was the idea. This was a little bit harder to execute than we had envisioned. So first of all, we have just our car, the truck, in the middle of the parking lot. Hopefully there's an outlet somewhere close that our extension cables can reach. Thankfully there was. But then, because obviously we're shooting this outside and we have just the weather doing what it's doing and the wind blowing in every which direction, unfortunately our smoke, our haze, was not just funneling directly where we wanted it. It was literally just like shooting out of the machine and then going, just running in every direction it wanted to go. So what we decided to do was start taping moving blankets to the truck to block, to kind of like help funnel the direction of the smoke to where we wanted it to go. And this actually worked out pretty well. And so now that we had the smoke going where we wanted it to go, we also just needed a way to kind of highlight it, to accentuate the haze, right? And so the best way for us to do this, we figured, was to backlight it. I'm sure there's a lot better of ways to do this, and if you're a professional and you have a better idea of what we could have done, please let me know down below. But this worked for us. But that's kind of the joy and the beauty of filmmaking, right? Is just the troubleshooting, and when problems arise, actually being able to solve the problem. Okay, the next scene I want to show you is the actual interior scene, the inside of the coffee shop where Jacob started making the drink or whatever. And we definitely said, hey, let's not just use the haze for the outside scene, but let's use it on the inside as well. And we definitely went overboard at the beginning. And so our lighting for here was pretty simple again. We did actually use some negative fill, which you should be able to see right here, because we wanted to block out the street lights coming through these massive windows of the coffee shop. So we just hung up a ton of blankets, had a like 2 light stands with a pole in between them, and then hung blankets inside or on that as well. So we were able to control our lighting on the inside as best as possible. And once we were able to do that, we just threw up a Godox 150, you know, pretty affordable light for most people, threw it on a light stand, and put a softbox with a honeycomb grid on it to kind of shape the light and not let it spill all over the place. And that was our key light, and that was it. And then we used a tube light set to, you know, this purple color to kind of, I don't know, give us like this retro neon, like grungy feel, which worked out great. Now let's go to the color grading. Okay, so this is one of my favorite frames of the film right here. I just love this shot. I love how it turned out. And this is what it looks like straight out of the camera. Okay, nothing special there, log, right? So I'm just gonna actually go through each node and just kind of show you what we did. First node, although it's technically the last node, but the first node that we use is the color space transform. That just gets it from the Blackmagic log format into Rec 709. Next thing I like to do is throw on just one of my own personal LUTs here, and that doesn't do a whole lot, you know, from the get-go, as you can see, but it just kind of gets the colors into more of a workable space that I like, that I'm comfortable with. Next, I actually jump up into the primaries and really start like the painting process, if you will, of kind of coming up with the look. Now, you might look at this and be like, dang, bro, that's super dark. Well, originally it wasn't that dark, but then I knew that I wanted to add this light ray effect, and I'll just show you what that looks like just right here, okay? Bam. Like, look how cool that is right there. I mean, that's pretty insane. That's just a built-in effect in Davinci Resolve, and so you can obviously tweak that. I always throw some noise reduction at the very beginning, and then right before the LUT gets added, I like to put grain/sharpening in there. And again, that's just film grain, built-in effect. And then just to add a little bit of sharpening to it. And then last node is just, so I have my primaries, and then I just have what's called like my secondaries. So after I get everything kind of looking where I want it to get to, just go in there and make the finest little tweakings to the color. So from this right here, I would say everything looks very purple, very magenta. Obviously we have that purple tube light causing a lot of that. But to me, this, like his skin, like his fingers just look really weird, right? The color just doesn't look right. So I just like to get in there, add some green, whatever looks good to you, whatever fits the feel and the vibe. But this is just a little sneak peek of how we color graded. Okay, that is, I think I'll probably wrap the video up here. Yeah, so just that was cool. I really had a lot of fun making this project with Matt. It was just awesome, from the pre-production to the production and the post. Making the whole like vision come to life was a lot of fun, and hopefully you got some value out of this video, just kind of giving you a behind the scenes look of just what our process was. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.